Hello everyone, today we're going to do a quick and dirty setup for Loki. The footage that we have here, you can see it has a lot of grain. So I'm going to set up the bitrate to be 50 megabits and I'm going to set the range for the preview to be 60 frames. So let's hit the preview so we can see it. Okay, as I told you, the image has a lot of, seems like a lot of flicker, but it's mostly the amount of noise that it has, and it has some jitter. So before dealing with the noise, we need to clear the jitter. So the thing that we're going to do here is going to be DBO steady. Why are we doing steady? Because if we cannot use frame lock or any other stabilization solution because we don't have any border. So we need to use the content for this. So steady is the only solution that's viable here. So steady is going to be mostly the vanilla settings. We're going to be going for center weighted because we want to stabilize the image using the center portion of the frame. So let's hit preview so we can see the result. Okay, let's do a comparison with a split. And let's zoom in a bit. Okay, you can see, yeah, the jitter is completely gone, and we have a mostly stable picture on the right. So now let's deal with the grain. So for learning reasons, we're gonna be using clarity first. Let's try doing clarity. We're gonna try clarity at the default settings, and let's see if it can do anything about the amount of grain that we have here. As you probably can see, clarity hasn't done anything or almost anything about the picture because the amount of grain is way too much for clarity to deal. Even if we were all the way with all the settings in clarity, it wouldn't do anything about it. So instead of glowing clarity, let's go for the nuclear option and start using DBO Velvet. Some people like DBO Velvet, some people don't, but I think it's a good tool as long as you know how to use it and the situations that you can use it. So we can go vanilla settings here, but I want to increase. Okay, let's hit reset, and the softness is okay. I may want to increase aggressiveness because I want to be more aggressive here. I want to do some post-processing on the contrast to increase that. Maybe leave the details as they are, and we are not gonna deal with safety because there is not a lot of movement in this content. There's no movement in this content, so we don't have any issues. We're not gonna have any issues with ghosting, so we can leave this be like normal. So let's see the result of Velvet. Okay, I think we got a pretty decent result here. Let's do a side by side. Let's make it fit. Okay, so now you can have, okay, so on the right we have the stabilized and the noise picture, and on the left is the original one. Okay, so now that we have cleaned the picture, what we can do here is to use the next one is going to be, maybe you want to output this to UHD. So I see a lot of these shots in crime procedurals, let's say like Law and Order on the like, and they use a lot of B-roll, night shot B-roll, and maybe you have a lot of these shots and you want to work them in a batch, and you want to like just set a watch folder and set it and forget it and just process all the B-roll that you have available. So this is a good option for that. Let's go UHD, and now we're gonna use a DBO upscale, and so we can make it fit in a UHD container. Yeah, we don't need to mess with anything else. It's gonna be progressive to progressive, and we are working in a linear environment. So let's process this. And now, as you can see on the top right, our footage is now on a 38, is in UHD. The output is set to UHD. So we do a comparison with the original. We can see that the original is a 1080 footage with stabilization issues, and it has that heavy grain. And now on the left and now on the right, we have the final output. It's gonna be our output for processing or the like. And now that we have this created, we are gonna set up a preset for these settings. So this is gonna be called night shot, night. Well, it's gonna be night shots. Obviously, they are night shots. Stop plus degrain or denoise. Denoise UHD out. Okay. So now that we have this preset created, we can go to watch folders and we can create a new watch folder for that particular. So it's gonna be called. It's gonna be the same. It could be night shots, denoise, and then we select the preset that we have created. Night shot, stop, and denoise, and we set up the outputs depending on what we have, and just we drop the files that we want to process on the watch folder, and everything should be coming out exactly like this, with this process, with the stabilization, with the velvet, and the upscale. So that's it for today, and see you the next time. Bye bye.